So this is the Honda CB500X. It is the do-it-all versatile middleweight adventure tourer from Honda, which came as a sudden surprise, at least for me. At the outset, with a slightly expensive price tag, the bike was welcomed with a mixed response. I, however, was more eager to first ride the bike because sometimes the spec sheet doesn't do justice to the actual character of a bike. Now, just for the records, the bike is priced at Rs 6.87 lakhs ex showroom and is being brought to our market via the CKD route, which means completely knocked down kits, which will eventually be assembled here in India. So let's look at the engine. 4-stroke BS6 compliant, 8-valve, liquid cooled, fuel injected, 471cc parallel twin that puts out 47.5 PS of max power at 8500 rpm and 43.2 Newton meters of max torque at 6500 rpm, and we get a 6-speed gearbox. We do get a slipper clutch on board. Now, talking about the brakes, we get a single 310mm pedal disc up front and a 240mm disc at the back. In terms of suspension, we get 41mm long travel suspension. Now, these are not USD forks, these are conventional telescopic forks, but are indeed adjustable for preload, which is really good. At the back, we also get a ProLink monoshock, which is also adjustable. Now, forming the sure foundation is the steel diamond tube frame that has been tuned to deliver optimum rigidity and balance. Seat height is 830mm, but it actually feels slightly taller than that, almost like a 840mm seat. Tank capacity is 17.7 liters, which means almost an 18-liter tank, which would offer good tank range while touring. Design-wise, we get LED lights all around and a slim profile design that really adds on to the agility and flickability of the bike and also makes it feel more contemporary and futuristic. The speedo console is a negative display, not easily legible. I wish it was a color TFT instead. In terms of electronics, we get dual channel ABS as standard. We do not get traction control, and please note that ABS is not switchable. Now, talking about the tires, we get a 19-inch front wheel and a 17-inch rear. We do get Dunlop tires, which are kind of dual sport tires with a fat 160 section rear tire. So now let's go ahead and take a look at my ride reaction.
Okay guys, now that I've given you a quick overview about the all-new Honda CB500X, I'm here at the Honda Bigwing Hyderabad top line showroom from Fortune, and can't wait to take this bike out for a quick city ride impression. So let's get going. Around 47.5 bhp, around 43.5 Newton meters. Feels very lightweight, and this is a city ride impression as to how the bike fares. Does get a slipper clutch, ultralight clutch feel. This is a problem because the horn switch is in the place of the indicator switch and the indicator switch is in the place of the horn switch. So first ride impression of the CB500X, 6-speed gearbox, 19-inch front wheel, 310mm front disc, 160 section 17-inch rear tire. Front suspension is adjustable and so is the rear suspension. It's really good and it's really refined as to what we expect when the branding reads Honda. It is torquey because the power figures almost match the torque figure, so it is almost having a flat torque curve, and it feels very nimble and streamlined and very easy to flick around despite being a proper adventure tourer. And you kind of have on-road off-road tires, kind of not proper extreme off-road tires, but something that you can use on-road as well as off-road. So that's another major plus, adds on to the versatility factor of the bike. And saddle comfort is really good. The slipper clutch really makes a lot of difference in offering a very lighter clutch pull or clutch lever action. Gearbox is very smooth as always, effortless. It is. Oh, look at the line at the wine shop. My god, almost every wine shop is like there's some blockbuster movie of Pawan Kalyan releasing first day first show. That's the kind of rush you see, because from tomorrow lockdown has been announced. Actually, tomorrow was my complete proper date with this motorcycle, where I would take it out for a longer distance, test the high speed stability and the off-road capability. But unfortunately lockdown has been announced from tomorrow onwards, so this is kind of a last minute 11th hour review just to give you a feel of the bike as to what I feel. It looks pretty futuristic, pretty streamlined, pretty modern, and it handles like a dream, man. Oh, long travel suspension, super refined power plant, nice and effective windscreen, which I think is adjustable, and overall fit and finish, build quality feels pretty much on point for a premium motorcycle, because this bike does come with a slightly heavier price tag. Mighty thanks to Fortune Bigwing top line here in Hyderabad, and you can contact Arun or the phone number mentioned in the description portion below to know all the details, booking details, and the exact on-road price here in Hyderabad. But overall I feel this is a worthy motorcycle and something that a lot of people would look to scale up to, because Honda is synonymous with reliability. And talking about seat height, I can tiptoe. You can manage because it doesn't feel heavy. Oh, look at the wine shop again. Look at the line, crazy. Oh my god. The cases have been increasing, things have been getting scarier and freakier by the day. I think it's a great decision by our government to impose the lockdown. Ultimately, it's people's lives that matter the most, more than anything else. Oh, so good. Oh man, the pull is amazing. So this has been set to miles per hour, sadly. So let me just stop by and change it to kilometers per hour so that you guys don't get confused. Thank God, huh? So set this. Okay. So set to kilometers per hour. So in order to get into this main adjusting settings, you have to press both the buttons for some time, and it activates the menu for you. Then you start selecting the units that you want to change. Yeah. Will it pull off wheelies? I'm sure it will. Oh man, such a torquey machine, and the way they've tuned it is what makes it more interesting. Long travel suspension really makes a world of difference. I'm having to shout because there's a little more wind blast on this flyover. Now it's rock solid. Wow, the suspension is as plush as it can get. My dam is just cruising, completely blissfully unaware of what's tailing her. Wow, man. This is incredibly impressive. The brakes are good. You do get dual channel ABS, you don't get traction control. And who needs traction control on a bike supposed to be an adventure bike? Anyhow, you're going to turn it off at the end of the day, and you don't have overkill of power to control the excess wheel spin here. So I think that's a good move. Can ABS be turned off? I don't think so. Let's see if that's possible. Once we come to a standstill, here is the Durgam Cheru Bridge, which is very famous. So let's maintain a steady pace here because things are a little too strict here on this portion of the bridge, completely surveilled. And it's beautiful. You can sit back and kind of enjoy the view. You have ITC Kohinoor, you have an Orbit Mall, everything in the purview. And sun is setting. Such a beautiful day. But tomorrow onwards it's going to be a different story. All the streets are going to be completely empty because lockdown has been imposed here in Hyderabad, Telangana from tomorrow onwards. We can find our way through this. Good amount of seat height, I mean good amount of ground clearance. The auto guys never listen to anyone. Wow. The reason I'm recording the entire stuff is every moment is worth spending on this machine. And this is one of my favorite roads in the Twin Cities. These two bridges, really good. And so satisfying. Just the right kind of power band. Not an overkill of power, just the right amount of torque to keep you intrigued and hooked and engaged throughout. Oh, look at the view. This is Hyderabad for you. Oh my god. The sun is setting, the skies are kind of becoming slightly gloomy, and yes, kind of darkness has descended upon every city with this cursed COVID scenario. Hoping and praying for everyone around, every fellow sister and brother, that none of them get infected, or even if they are, I just hope them a speedy recovery. Watching out for one another, that's what defines unity. That's what defines our nation. Okay, back to the machine. The dash, the nothing like, I mean, the way the panels are bolted on is pretty good. No rattling, nothing. And such a good handler for an adventure machine. And that's maybe a unique hallmark trait of this that will add on as a major plus for this machine, because usually adventure bikes are bulky and big and not easy to flick around. So this is something that you can live with on a day-to-day basis. If you are a one bike guy who wants to enjoy the biking culture, touring culture, want a premium reliable machine and something that you can ride to your office, this is the machine for you. and seldom do you see a mix of both, because it's either out and out performance or it's either about complete comfort. But it's very rare that we see a perfect blend of comfort and performance and handling and brilliant riding dynamics, and that's exactly what we get here with the CB500X.